The only way to slow it down is isolate, not roam. Please help the world get back on track and stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Don't you be a fucking dick. Please stay the fuck at home.
It's funny.
Stay the fuck at home.
And before we get started with today's segment, I do want to give a huge shout out to all the frontline workers, public healthcare workers and whatnot. And also I want to give a shout out to all the gyms and instructors who've been making sure that guys like me don't skip a beat. And today I was fortunate enough to have a good friend of mine, Frances. What's going on?
Hello. Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
To be here.
How are you?
You know what? It's been an interesting time. Taking it day by day,
right.
You know, and I feel like I'm just learning more about things myself, the way the world is working, the way that the fitness industry is changing, just learning day by day.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously I know you, Frances, but for the listeners that don't know who you are, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah,
and what
definitely.
you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Frances. I'm originally from Vancouver. I'm a Vancouverite at heart. I came to Toronto 4 years ago now for school. So I did my MBA at McMaster. Was planning to go into the corporate world, as Toronto is so known for. But
Right.
then I decided to pursue my passion in fitness. And so I've been doing that ever since I graduated, and I've never looked back. So fitness is my heart and passion. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
That's crazy. Here I thought I knew everything about you. I didn't know you did your MBA. That's you did. Nice.
Sunny, you added me on LinkedIn today.
I added you today. I know. I added you today, and I was like, okay, she has a LinkedIn account because I was trying to figure out your introduction as well. But that's crazy. So what made you, like, you know, before we get into COVID-19 and how you've been up to, you know, how have you been? How are you doing on a personal level?
You know what? I honestly, like, I have my ups and downs. I feel like just like anyone else. I'm trying to stay as positive as possible, but at the same time, like, I have my days. I have my days when I'm just like absolutely unmotivated to do anything.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm just making the most of what I have now.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. I mean, it's put us all in a situation where we kind of have to make do with what we have. And a big part of that is staying healthy, you know, being a group fitness instructor and also working at Sweat and Tonic. How has that shift been like? Like, I know COVID-19 has affected the brick and mortar in terms of the business model, but how have you guys been doing in terms of keeping everybody engaged?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, if we're talking about the entire fitness industry in general, I think that at the very beginning when this hit,
right,
I'm talking about everyone in the fitness industry, including all the gyms, all the fitness influencers, everyone in the game is racing to get online, right? And like people who haven't been doing online stuff, this is all new.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, I feel like everybody is learning as they go. And now that we are online, we're doing like Instagram live classes, which have been super popular.
Right.
I feel like because of this time, more and more people are obviously spending time on these social media platforms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Instagram lives have been like super popular for classes. We've also switched over to Zoom classes.
Yeah.
We're also doing like on-demand classes where we're actually filming like high quality videos and pumping them out there.
And those are, I know Sweat and Tonic now is doing a new promotion as well, right? Where it's like, I think $60 for the month and you get unlimited classes.
Yeah. So for Sweat and Tonic, I mean, I honestly think that in general, because there's so much content out there.
Right.
Like every single day, like people are just racing to get that content out there, and there's so much free content out there that a lot of people are not willing to spend money. So the $60 price point for unlimited classes is what we decided on. And I feel like it's been super popular so we're doing like a month of May challenge.
Okay.
Because I find that, or we found that for the time being, like people just wanted structure.
Right.
And so we just created this like month-long program for people to follow.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah.
I mean, I have a routine as well. I wake up in the morning and, I try to put in my 30 to 40 minutes of work when I can. But the good thing is that, having these live workouts now, I know I can work whenever I want. I don't have to worry about getting ready and putting on my shoes was part of the equation before. But now
Yeah,
literally
totally.
just, within my house, I can do it. I mean, there is an advantage, of course, virtual classes.
Yeah.
It is a shitty situation to be a business owner.
Yeah.
I know there's this initiative going on. I think it's Save Health and Wellness that's being spearheaded by Jennifer Lau.
Yeah.
It sucks because like I was reading up on Bloomberg today as well. Like in the long term, there is going to be a gradual shift when it comes to the brick and mortar style. And
Yeah,
with the virtual
definitely.
classes, clients need to have an understanding, including myself, that, you pay for the work that you put in, right? Like
Yeah, definitely.
I can YouTube a workout and do a workout, but what keeps me going is when David or you are yelling at me and saying, "Hey, finish that rep," right? And
Exactly.
um,
It-
funny
no,
enough,
seriously. Oh, sorry, go
like
ahead.
I'm like, it's crazy how time changes because like I wanted to give a little context. This week, last year,
Yeah.
I was in Francis and David's 12-week program, the first class.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, what
It
today?
was
Like,
this week when I won the
oh, this
burpee
week.
challenge. Remember the burpee challenge, and you gave out a free 6 side meals, and I won that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got a reminder on Facebook stories and on Instagram saying on this day today, and it was a Wednesday tomorrow.
Wow.
And it's crazy the power of time. Like one minute you're doing something else, in between you end up going to Vegas. Fast forward a couple of months later, and we're in the situation where we're in today.
Yeah.
I know
Seriously.
like besides work, like, you've been doing your classes and whatnot. What have you been doing to keep positive on a personal level?
Let's see. I mean, I feel like at this time, what really keeps me going is like having a routine. Like, I need to schedule my shit in,
Right.
whether that is like reading for 15 minutes. If I put that in my schedule where I can see it, then I have this structure in my day, or else it's so easy to just like, you know, have no structure in the day. And I feel like too many days of no structure will
Mm.
just like send you into a state of anxiety.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, honestly, that's what happened to me. And so I think slowly, as I realized that we're going to be in this situation for longer than I thought, um, yeah, I'm adapting.
That's good. I
That's
think
for
longer
sure.
than we all thought. Cause I mean, the first 2 weeks I'm like, yeah, quarantine 2020, you know, I'm going to drink, I'm going to
Seriously.
snack, like,
Yeah,
working from home. And then I'm like, wait, today's day 47,
I
you know,
know.
and
Crazy.
it's definitely, I know Doug Ford announced the other day in terms of the economy reopening, but there were no like firm dates. So this is
Yeah.
probably going to carry on for a couple of months. But having said that, routine is so important. I think that's been such a constant in terms of all my
Yeah.
guests saying routine is
Oh,
critical.
it is. It really is. And the thing is, like, so I'm fundamentally an introvert, okay?
Really?
And yeah.
No fucking way. You're kidding. What?
So this is really funny because like nobody guesses this about me. They think that I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
But like fundamentally speaking, let's just like put it out there. The actual definition of an introvert and an extrovert is like where you gain your energy from, right? And like when I was younger, I was definitely more introverted, and as I'm getting older, I'm becoming more extroverted. But at the fundamental level,
Right.
I'm totally an
That's good.
introvert.
That's interesting. I always thought that you were a people person. Um, Even like your gym chronicles on Instagram, narrating the people that are in the park. Does that still
Yeah.
happen?
Okay, so this is what happened with my outdoor gym chronicles. Okay, so
Okay.
context.
Yeah, for people who don't know
Outside,
what it is, yeah.
so outside my window on the right side here, if I look outside my window, there's an outdoor gym. It's like a calisthenics gym, a body weight. And before all of this COVID stuff happened, actually right after the COVID stuff happened, it was so entertaining to see all of the people come and work out here because all the gyms were closed,
Right.
right? Let me tell you the things that I saw. Like some of the stuff didn't actually end up on my Instagram. So anyway, so I was like doing daily. I was out there every time I looked out my window.
Yeah.
There was someone fucking around out there doing God knows what,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, it made me
But
laugh. I can tell you that. Every time you put something on Instagram, I was like, that's hilarious.
yeah, it was funny. But then what happened? It was a very sad day. The park cops came around
Yeah.
and like caution taped the entire thing.
And that was the end of your chronicles, right?
That was the end of my chronicles.
It's it's having said that, like it's great. It's funny you say that because the guest before you actually was a park cop. He
Yeah.
worked in the city. So he was telling me how he's been going around giving tickets and whatnot. I'm sure you have clients out there, in your group classes as well as your personal classes. And I'm just wondering, because this is something I think about as well. We're entering month 2, and entering month 2, there's going to be days where we lack motivation. We lack that commitment to kind of get in our workout. What is your tips in terms of, motivating your clients? What do you tell your clients?
So this is the thing. Like, I think that at this time, there's this huge push of where everyone's like, you have to use this time wisely.
Right.
You need to be exercising every day. You should be learning something new. But the reality of it is this, everybody is dealing with this situation differently, right? So I don't think that you should necessarily force yourself to do something major. All that I say is to just move. And if that means that you just take a 10-minute walk outside, right, in your day,
right,
and that's your movement, then that is your movement. I don't think that it's necessary for people to be like, oh, I have to be getting a 1-hour brutal workout in every day.
Yeah.
I
get that. Yeah. I mean, I think you nailed it with the whole idea that movement is key. Movement is crucial, right? Your body doesn't know whether you ran 10 kilometers or you did 100 kettlebell swings. It knows what you did in terms of the impact on the individual muscles, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And the same can be said with recovery. Like I've learned that the body doesn't know that today is Wednesday, it's a day off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know for me, as much as I've been working out, surprisingly, I've gained weight. And the biggest reason is the goddamn fridge.
Please hold. I have many comments about this, okay? Because I also, I'm a fitness professional, right? And everybody expects these fitness professionals to be like perfect and on their shit all the time. I'm not moving as much, definitely.
Right.
And so I don't know how much weight I've gained, but I've definitely gotten softer, because the fact is that I'm spending more time at home and my workouts haven't been exactly the same. At home workouts are effective, but it's nothing like going to the gym and like having a treadmill on hand and stuff.
Right.
But I mean, in terms of snacking, it's like
I feel like you're someone that snacks a lot.
I snack. I'm a snack queen. on my Instagram bio at the very bottom, it says snack queen with a crown.
Does it actually say snack queen?
It actually does say I'm a snack queen. Anyone who knows me relatively well knows how much I love food.
I can confirm. It says in snack queen.
I am snack queen. And so, and it's like, especially sweets, like I have such a huge sweet tooth.
Okay.
So what I say is like, I have a no diet mentality. And where that comes from is like, I have a history of eating disorders and being too restrictive on my eating because I wanted to look a certain way. But now my philosophy about dieting and nutrition is eating so that you feel good. And if that means that one day you want to eat a tub of ice cream and that's going to make you feel good, one night of like bad eating is not going to do shit. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
As
Right.
long as you have that balance throughout the week where most of the time you're aware and you're eating to fuel your body, but like you can snack, no problem.
Are you the type, like, do you count your calories and stuff, or like or have you built,
So
or at this point do you have that, that I'd say the eye calculator to kind of see, okay, this is what I'm putting in my plate?
yeah, so that's called intuitive eating, right?
Yep.
Um, I would say that as a beginner who is starting their health and fitness journey, it is actually really beneficial to track your food,
Mm.
not only in terms of calories, but in terms of your macros. So your basic macronutrients that you're getting in your food. And it's not to say that you do this so that you can obsess over what you're eating, but more so just general to gain a general understanding of what good nutrition looks like.
Right. Right.
So for me, it's like, yeah, I mean, when I have goals, when I have specific goal, when I'm like going on a vacation or something, yeah, I'll track my calories.
Yep.
But in general, it's like I just listen to my body.
Well, that's good. I mean, I even me, like right now, I started tracking my calories again.
Yeah,
I
nice.
started intermittent fasting, so I'm eating within that window. I try to eat my dinner by like 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
That way, if I need to snack later on, I try not to, because I'm like, all right, I'm done eating. This is just
yeah,
me now, giving it, because you got to understand one thing, right? Being inside your home and working in your home and working out in your home, going to the fridge is just a distraction. It's like going for a
it
walk,
totally is.
right? Right? Half the journey isn't even about getting food. It's just like, okay, what's in the fridge, and then the decision
Yeah.
making behind it.
Yeah. So this is the thing too. Like this is what I want to encourage. Like if some listeners are, I'm sure that a lot of listeners are struggling with the same thing because we both are
Right.
snacking in general. But like there's a difference between when you really crave something. When I'm like, I wake up and like the first thing that's on my mind is like chocolate chip cookie. Then then I'm gonna go get that chocolate chip cookie, okay,
Right.
no matter what. But if it's mindless, if I'm like, okay, I'm bored and like I just need a distraction, I just need like dopamine, with something, then that's when you have to be conscious
Right.
of your choices.
You do. I mean, I can tell you one thing. Last night I woke up at like 2:30, and this has become a consistent past midnight routine of me getting up and
Yeah.
making myself a peanut butter sandwich. So that intermittent fasting I'm talking about, I always end up breaking it because of this goddamn 3 a.m. walk to the kitchen to get to make a peanut butter sandwich. That's my
Honestly,
kryptonite.
honestly, Sunny, okay, first of all, peanut butter and jelly, you just like
You
that's
can't go wrong.
just you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I commend you. Let's just give him a round of
I mean,
applause there.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, seriously.
Well,
But okay, so obviously this whole intermittent fasting for you is not working then.
it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of I mean, I kind of pretend like pretend like that never happened. Let's say. Um,
Okay,
but yeah,
can
I
I
need
give
to.
you a tip?
What's the tip?
Okay, so like, are you okay? What is your purpose for intermittent fasting?
So I want to be able to burn fat right now. I gained a couple pounds during this quarantine,
Okay,
so I want to be able to eat within that restricted window, so then I can refrain from eating outside of that window, and also burn calories during that period of time, right?
okay, okay. So that makes sense. But the thing is that restriction then causing you to wake up in the middle of the night and then like feed that craving?
Well, I think I know what it is. It's me smoking before bed, so I need to stop doing that. That's what it is.
That's exactly, when the munchies hit,
I kind
right?
of already
When
figured it out, because I'm like, wait, I've been dreaming about eating a peanut butter sandwich, and then I get up at 3, and then I go make myself a peanut butter sandwich.
see if that works for you.
You talked about like, and I think one of the big things I thought about during this period of time, Francis, is like, vulnerabilities are going to be really exposed for a lot of people,
Yeah.
right? People are kind of now, trying to, and I know I've said this so many times on this podcast over the course of the last couple of weeks, but it's true. I think a lot of people are kind of exploring their vulnerabilities. And I think a couple of months ago, Francis, you did a workshop at Sweat and Tonic.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
was on International Women's Day.
Yeah.
And you
So,
talked about the importance of confidence. You want to elaborate about that, what that was about?
yeah. So March 8th is actually my birthday.
Happy
And
belated birthday. I'm pretty sure I
thank
wished you though,
you.
but
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So my birthday coincides with International Women's Day. And like ever since people started actually celebrating International Women's Day, I just knew in my heart, I was like, you know what? I need to do something on my birthday
right,
where I have an opportunity to give back, right?
right.
And ever since I was like a young teen, I've always wanted to like host a workshop. Um, and so I feel like this was like the perfect opportunity. 29th birthday. I'm like, you know what? This year I'm going to spend my time giving back. So then I hosted this workshop on confidence and I called it Project Confidence.
Okay.
And I guess it was my opportunity to share my story of how, like, you know, growing up, this may come as a surprise to some people because I come off as a very confident person, which I am,
Right.
but it just like it, this is built. I was definitely not confident growing up, and it showed up in a lot of like toxic ways. So I dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety when I was younger, especially university, um, eating disorders, and just
Right.
like a whole lot of struggle. So it's like it was my chance to tell my story of how what I did with that and how fitness became a part of my life and, you know, basically gave me the confidence to be who I am now.
How long? So you mentioned your fitness journey began when you came to Toronto,
Okay,
or
so my fitness journey, my personal fitness journey
yeah.
started when I was, man, I probably started like taking fitness seriously when I was like 21, 22.
Okay. So
Um,
it's been some time.
yeah, but before that, I mean this thing, I was always an active person. I've always
Mm.
been an athlete. Like growing up, I was a competitive figure skater.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
but
Like, did you compete? Like, that's awesome. Like, at what level did you compete?
oh no, this is when I was really young. This is from like this is from like age 3 to like 14.
Nice. I feel like that's something all Asian families would do. Like, even from immigrant parents like me, I did karate growing up, and it was like,
Yeah. No, that's well, my parents like this is the thing. Okay, let's talk about Asian parenting for a
yeah, yeah,
second. So I was doing really well. I was doing competitive figure skating, and we're talking like solo, you know, competitions where I like win medals, and I would go to practice before school started, and then go to school, and then go to practice afterwards.
wow, serious,
Yeah. Yeah. And my parents were like, okay, this is cutting into her school too much. We
right?
need her to be a lawyer. So we're going to take her out of figure skating and let her focus on school. So that's what happened. But guess what, mom and dad? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer yet.
So how was that? So how was that conversation when you first told them? Then you went to McMaster to do your MBA, and then you decided now to be get into the fitness industry and be a trainer. Um, how
Yeah.
was that conversation like?
So again, background context. I went to UBC for my undergrad, and my whole plan, ever since like the later years of high school,
Right.
my whole plan was to become a lawyer. Okay. That's the only thing that I knew, but only because my parents fed me that idea since I was
Right.
younger, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be a lawyer, lawyer, lawyer. And I'm like, you know, yeah, I'm going to be a lawyer. And then fourth year university, I was studying sociology and poli-sci, and I sat there and I'm like, hold on a second. I have no interest in law.
Right.
I have no interest in law. Why? It just got so close to that point where I had to like start applying for law school that I put my foot down. I'm like, this is not what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still wanted to pursue higher education. So then I was like, okay, the next best thing would be I've always been interested in business, so I decided to my MBA. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I hated every moment of my MBA.
Did you? Was it a 2-year program?
It was a 2.5 year program. It was a
Okay.
co-op program, so it was like half school and half
Yeah.
co-op. I lied. It's not like I hated every moment of it, but the thing is, I've never been super enthusiastic about school.
Hmm.
Yeah, like, you know, I did it because I wanted to, but I've always been more of a doer of
Like
what
that.
I want.
Like in terms of being a practical person, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's crazy you say that because, like, you know, the moment that we're in right now, which is unparalleled, COVID-19, I think it's a reality check for a lot of people that are stuck in positions where they're not enjoying what they're doing and saying,
Totally.
wait, if I had a week to live, or if I had a month to live, or if this is the end of the world, let's say, for all we know, am I doing what I'm doing right now? Is this something I enjoy? Is this making an impact in the world? Right. And
So that's the thing. Like for me, it's that um I've always been kind of like a rebellious, how should I say this? I've been a rebellious
troublemaker.
child. I've been a troublemaker growing up. Not
Yeah.
even necessarily okay, let's say troublemaker, fine. But um I don't know. I've growing up, because I grew up in like a traditional Korean family, there's always like this standard of what is wrong and what is right and how you should live and how you shouldn't, right? A very traditional way of thinking.
Right.
And then there's me who likes to go against the grain. So when I told my parents that I actually didn't want to go work for a marketing firm and I wanted to be a personal trainer, they they weren't they were disappointed, but they allowed me to go chase my dreams because I explained it to them. I'm like,
Mm.
listen, I love fitness and I feel like I have the ambition and drive to create my own. So let me pursue my passion because if not now, then when?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's true. I mean, and here you are now. Like, so so for your first step was obviously PT training, um, and then with Sweat and Tonic now, I feel like, so with the events and sales management position, how does that
Yeah.
tie into what it kind of does tie into your MBA a little bit? No.
It's so crazy because so like okay, so I graduate MBA, decide I don't want to go for corporate. I had this whole thing where I questioned myself so much, okay? Because first of all, I had barely any personal training experience.
Okay.
I had barely any experience in the fitness industry in general.
Right.
And here I was going, oh, I love fitness. I'm going to do something in it. But that's what drove me. So I started off literally training my friends and my old roommate at my condo gym that I used to live at. Okay.
Right. Yeah. You got to start somewhere, right?
Car starts, didn't even know how much to charge them. I was like $50. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I did that for 2 years.
Okay.
I was an independent personal
And
trainer
this
for
was in
two
Toronto.
years. This was in Toronto.
Gotcha.
And I was training out of my condo. I was training out of other people's condos. And because I loved it so much, though,
Yeah.
I kept on going and I just grew my business like that. Had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then through David McKinnon and I have become friends through Instagram because we're both fitness people, right? I don't know why I air quoted that, but we're
Big
fitness
shout out to
people.
David.
David, he'll be on the show soon. He'll be on the show
Very
soon.
soon, very soon.
But I got connected with him. We became really good friends. We started working together.
Right.
And then he actually referred me as a fitness instructor to Sweat and Tonic. And that's how I got the job as an instructor. And then so for a couple of months, I worked as just an instructor. And then I realized, I'm like, okay, like now that I've been doing this for a while, it would be my absolute dream. This is what I thought from the very beginning. I'm like,
Right.
it would be my absolute dream if I could somehow work in the fitness industry, but also do more business development in
Right.
some sort of company,
Yeah.
right? And lo and behold, after I started working at Sweat and Tonic, I saw this opportunity where I could help with that business development. And so I kind of created that opportunity by reaching out to the owner, David Ingram, who is amazing, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if there's any way that I can help grow your business, please give me this opportunity because I would love to. So.
And there you are. So that, I mean, that just proves you just got to seize the opportunity when it comes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, I mean, it's crazy because Sweat and Tonic, they're definitely a new player in the game in Toronto. But you guys have been pushing out your content as well, your Zoom classes, your live classes on Instagram as well. Are there, besides working out, let me ask you a question. Are you interested? Are you learning any new skills? Are you doing anything else on the side that you maybe didn't have a chance to do before and you're kind of exploring now?
Like, you mean outside of my actual work that I do?
Any other skills? Like it could be learning a new language. It could be reading more. Is there something that pre-COVID that you feel like you didn't really have an opportunity to do more of, and you kind of reflected and now think that maybe this is a good opportunity for you to take advantage of whatever that thing is?
So I feel like a lot of people would be able to relate to this, but again, I'm going to give you a little bit of context. Before I fell in love with fitness, when I was in high school, my dream was to become a pastry chef. Okay.
A pastry chef.
Yeah.
You're full of surprises, Frances.
I wanted to be a pastry chef, but my parents, and we're going to go back to this again, but my parents were like, I was like, Mom and Dad, when I graduate high school, can I please go to chef school? And they were like, listen, this is what the plan is. You're going to go to university. You're going to finish university. After you finish your university and you still want to be a pastry chef, then you can go to pastry chef school. And I was like, perfect. Anyway, so I used to love baking. And now one of the things that I've been doing more is baking. So
and that's good. What have you been baking? You've been baking and obviously eating as well. What are you baking?
I feel like this is like a huge theme in this whole COVID thing, but like a lot of banana bread, just healthy banana bread.
What's the story behind that? I've been seeing it all over Instagram. I've been seeing banana bread recipes left, right, and center.
I know. I don't know how it became a thing, but it's just like it's easy to make and like it's easily, I don't know, everybody has bananas lying around somewhere.
Yeah.
So
now that you mentioned it, I'm going to make banana bread this weekend.
I will send you a recipe.
Send it this way.
A healthy recipe.
Healthy recipe, yeah. Send it this way for sure.
Yeah, I got you.
So I guess now it's crazy. Like we're day 47. We don't know when the end is right now. The fitness industry itself. I mean, you have the one perspective, which is the business owner perspective.
Yeah.
Which that it's an unfortunate situation to be in. From the perspective of being a fitness instructor, you think that and I was thinking about this the other day as well. There's going to be like all these key themes that are going to come into play now when it comes to opening up gyms as well, right? Like I know sanitation was already big as it is, but like now the idea of social distancing, having smaller classes.
Yeah.
What do you have any insight of the future? What are your opinions on it?
Yeah, for sure. So being a part of the management team of Sweat and Tonic, we are already strategizing on the reopening and what needs to be done with that. So we're on top of how other countries are handling it and the available information that we have now about how Toronto is going to operate, which is obviously limited at this time. But it looks like gyms are going to be one of the last things to really get back to normal because it's just a place where people congregate, right?
Correct.
So I think the first fitness facilities that are going to start opening up are personal training gyms that attract less crowds, and then places like Sweat and Tonic where they're group fitness classes. It'll probably open up a little bit later, but again, we have to apply the social distancing norm. So it'll be like 50% class capacity, spacing people out accordingly. And then my boss was actually, he is investing into an air filtration system. Okay. And this air filtration system is used in airplanes.
Interesting. What does it do?
Yeah.
It clears the air. It cleans up the air. and
Right.
filters
So
it.
it's,
Okay.
yeah. Yes,
Yeah, obviously.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's like investing in this like huge project where he's like getting this high quality air filtration system
yeah,
so that people would feel more comfortable being in the space.
I see. Yeah, no, sorry, I was confused with ventilation. So I was like, wait, there should already be some sort of filtration
Yeah.
or ventilation, but I guess this is something along the lines of killing or circulating out germs from the facility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy. I think, we talk about the future, but we really don't know that. The fact is that tomorrow, the new normal that we're going to be in, it's going to be a different normal.
It is.
It's not going to be the type of normal where we can be in crowded bars or crowded gyms,
Yeah.
crowded
Yeah.
restaurants, right?
Yeah,
There's
for
going to be
sure.
this, hypersensitivity now towards people around you and not knowing who they are, where they've been. Um,
Let let me ask you, I know, like, I want to ask you, if you personally, would you go back to normal life like that, or would you be more wary of people? Are you a type that is going to be like more careful?
no, I'll be really frank.
Yeah,
I kind of miss the old life.
of course.
Like hypothetically speaking, let's say what we live in right now, the future is permanently this idea of social distancing, meaning, you're literally in a bubble as you walk everywhere you go. I
Right.
wouldn't be able to like live that life. I mean, I think
No.
it would be a shitty situation.
Yeah.
I was reading I was watching a documentary yesterday on Netflix on the
Yeah.
coronavirus and pandemics in general. And honestly, pandemics are something that governments never really properly plan for. We were so distracted by wars.
Yeah.
We spent trillions of dollars on wars. Imagine spending the same amount of money or even a fraction of that
Yeah.
on, vaccinations, on research and development. And I don't think in a million years I would have ever thought that, we would be in the situation that we're in today.
Totally.
Right.
Totally.
And I having said that now, I think that, you talked about some really good points in terms of, staying motivated and keeping fit. Personally, when it comes to your fitness goals, when you were on your journey, what was the biggest hump that you had to get over
Uh,
that you feel like a lot of people might relate to? And I always ask
in
that question to everybody.
in general,
It could be
like,
fitness related, or it could be in general. Yeah.
okay, so like you're talking about like throughout my fitness like journey
Yeah,
myself.
I'm more tailoring it towards your fitness journey.
Okay, so this is the thing. Like, yeah, I've been heavily into, I mean, fitness, health and fitness has been my life for the past almost decade now.
Right.
Um, but I feel like one of the key drivers of like my philosophy in health and fitness is that consistency is king. And I cannot stress that enough. That does not mean that I'm working out 7 days a week for the entire time. I still, being the fitness nut that I am, I love health and fitness.
Hmm.
It's my life.
Right.
But still, I have time periods where I do not want to work out at all. Like, I don't want to see a dumbbell in my face. I don't want to run. I just don't want to work out at all. And I have
Right.
no motivation. But the most important part is just keeping it consistent. And if that means that I work out twice a week, I work out twice a week. It's just about just moving forward.
So true. I think consistency, I can relate to that. Consistency is the biggest factor, I think.
Yeah,
Um, you can go super hard one day, but if you give yourself a 5-day gap, what's the point?
exactly.
Right. I think that's
Exactly.
that's really crucial. The other thing I've started thinking about is like, you know, we're also at different levels. Like just because, you know, I'm going at my pace when it comes to my fitness journey, and the
Yeah.
person next to me is going, on their pace. I think that's a big thing that I took away from this as well, is not, stop comparing yourself with other people around you,
Oh
right?
my
Just do
God,
you.
totally.
And like you said,
Yeah.
if you want to snack, snack, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. It's like more so about, I know that most people start their fitness journey because they want to look a certain way, right?
Right.
Most people. But what's more important than the way that you look is the way that you feel. And yes, when you look good, you feel good. But at the same time, you need to make sure that it becomes a lifestyle and you could integrate it within your lifestyle, or else you're going to have short-term gains, and then you're just going to go back to your normal eating habits or whatever, right?
Right. I wish I had my podcast in, because I would have been applauding right now with the sound bit. I think that's key right now. Like, a lot of times you get so caught up on the outside, like having the chiseled chest and the chiseled abs. But we forget that, you got to make working out not a chore, but a part of your routine, like brushing your teeth, right? Or getting up and showering. If you don't work out, and that's why, and that comes into consistency, like you mentioned. And then routine, which is a big thing. Let me ask you, Frances, before, I guess, what's the one thing that, if you could go back in time, or actually, if you look back right now, what's the one thing you took for granted pre-COVID that,
Man. Well, I gotta say, so like being the introvert that I am.
I still can't wrap my head around that.
I know. Okay, so let me just explain something to you real quick. I'm totally an introvert at heart, but the nature of work that I do forces the extrovert out of me, because I am constantly giving to people, right? That's the nature of work that I do. So that feeds into my introvertness, because I'm giving so much to other people, I need to be alone, right? But even being the introvert that I am, and I live with 2 roommates who are my best friends, right? So it's not like I'm alone, but still, before pre-COVID, I would, I don't know, just like not be down to like meet people and stuff like that. Like if I didn't feel like it, I know that like I wouldn't change anything if I went back, but still I just miss human interaction face to face.
I know. I feel like it's just going to be the new normal. Who knows, right? Like,
yeah. Hopefully not for too long though.
I know, hopefully not. But you know what? I don't mind. Like, there's a couple of states a couple of states in the US that are reopening right now.
Yeah.
And they're going against, the federal mandate of not opening. But the big thing that I'm scared of is the second wave. So I don't mind this being a little prolonged.
I know, me too.
Building that herd immunity. I think that's what they call it, herd immunity.
Well, that's the thing too. There's been discussion about how if we go back to normal and a second wave hits, like, would you be able to go back and do this whole thing again? Like, hell no.
Hell no.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
Can you imagine if they say, hey, lights are on, we're going to open up the economy.
Yeah.
And then boom, and November hits and it's like, guys, we're going to have to go back to quarantine. And it'll be twice as long.
My God.
I think that's when I'd be bouncing off the walls.
Oh God, no.
Have you, have you been up to, like, what have you been doing besides working out? You mentioned Netflix. Are you watching anything on Netflix right now?
Okay, so I'm not a TV person. I never was. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've been the worst right now when it comes to TV. I've been watching so much.
So that's the thing. I mean, okay, I feel like not a lot of people would be able to relate to me, because most people are TV people,
right,
and like movie people, but I have never been someone who was like super into shows and stuff. I just don't have the patience and attention span to be able to dedicate myself to shows. I would rather, I'm the type of person, because I'm so curious, I'm such a curious person, when I have an idea, I like to do research. So I spend my time at nighttime just Googling a random thing and then just going. The web just takes me places.
Right. I see what you mean. I've done that before, where it's like the internet just turns into this abyss and you just keep going from one link to another link to another.
Yeah. Or I'll spend my time reading. Like, I like to spend my time reading.
That's good. Are you reading anything interesting right now?
Yeah. So it's right here, actually. Have you read this book, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose? Eckhart Tolle.
I have not. No.
This has been an amazing book. So Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Have you heard the book, The Power of Now?
I've heard of The Power of Now. It's on my to read list.
You must.
Is it the same author?
It's the same author.
It's the same author. Okay.
Yeah, he writes amazing books. But yeah, I am currently reading this one. I just started it.
Right.
Um, and then I'm also reading this, which is very appropriate right now. Eat to Live.
Nice. What's that about? Diet and just what you're putting into your body?
This one is about like feeding your body with like a nutrient dense nutrition profile to
Gotcha.
like have a sustained weight loss. I don't know. I like to read like different things just so like I can keep educated and
That's
have
good.
different perspectives. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think like reading, I'm a reader too. I love reading as
Yeah.
well. I'm reading a book called Educated.
Yeah.
It's a memoir by the author. Her name is Tara Westover.
Yeah.
I need to be better at reading fast though. Like it takes me like a solid 2 to 3 weeks to finish one book.
That's okay. You can take it at your own time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like I read a chapter and then I'm like, all right, I'll read a chapter tomorrow. But like back in the
Yeah.
days, I used to zip through books like no tomorrow.
Well,
Um,
do you want to become a faster reader?
I do. I think that that's something that I'm kind of working towards right now. My goal
Nice.
at the beginning of the year was to read a book a month.
Yeah,
So I'm a little behind, but perfect time to catch up. But anyways,
for
Francis,
sure.
I want to ask you one last thing. I
All
didn't
right, let's
realize we've
go.
been talking for quite some time.
It's okay.
I guess what's your message to everybody out there that's tuning in and listening to us right now?
I would say that my message is, I mean, obviously being the fitness nut that I am, is like I know that each and every person listening out there, no matter where you are in your journey of your life, you're doing the best that you can. So number one, you have to be kind to yourself. I feel like right now people are beating themselves up for one thing or another. Oh,
Right.
I'm not doing enough of this. Oh, I'm not doing enough of that. First of all, be kinder to yourself. Second of all, you need to integrate movement into your day, whether that is a short walk or a 1 hour workout. You take it at your own pace. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. But it's one of the things that's just going to keep you happy and healthy.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I think movement is the biggest one. Big takeaway. Do something, whether it's
do
in the
something.
proximity of your house, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's going for a run. If you want to be motivated, I would definitely check out Francis's workouts.
Thank you.
And that's that. So I mean, I guess I'll see you on the other side, Francis, whenever this is over.
Absolutely, for sure. You know what? You need to come to I'm going to invite you to one of my workouts this
Why
week.
don't I?
And I'm
I
gonna,
was I was gonna ask, but then I was already like on the way out earlier
yeah,
today to run because I was like, I
yeah,
should actually attend one of Francis's Zoom classes right now
yeah,
prior to the
yeah,
podcast.
for sure.
But I've been hearing nothing but good things about your booty class, especially from
My booty classes, it's
yeah.
killer. It's killer. Yeah.
I have a few guests that are coming that are actually in a part of your classes, but I'll leave that for later. We'll talk about that after.
Nice.
But anyways, Francis, thank you so much for tuning in today, for
Thank you
coming
so much.
in, sharing all the wisdom that you shared. For everybody else, stay safe, keep moving, stay
Keep
positive.
moving. Exactly. Thank you so much, Sunny, for having me.
Are there any shout outs that you'd like to give to anybody before we wrap
Oh
up?
man. Oh my God. Shout out to Sunny, first of all, for connecting all of us together. It's
Thank
important. You
you.
know what? The work that you do, and like the thing is, this is your side project, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
it's something
your
I just
passion
do.
project.
Yeah,
And so I think it's amazing that you just like connect with people and just talk about how they're doing and what their life is like, because there's someone out there, someone listening out there who's going to connect, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like there's going to be, there's going to be at least one listener, and even if there's no listeners, at least I can
yeah,
say for myself that I
yeah,
took away a lot and a different perspective. You were
yeah,
talking about reading and how you enjoy reading and looking at different perspectives and gaining knowledge.
yeah,
Conversations are like that as well. And the
yeah,
big thing with this
totally.
podcast, I realize, is that we're so consumed in minimal context when it comes to social media. We're having actual conversations. We get to learn a lot about each other, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
like you were, you doing your MBA. figure skating. I didn't know that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Also my introvertness.
and your
My
introvertness.
introversion. Yeah.
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 But anyways, everybody else, thank you very much, Frances. I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
You take
Thank you
care.
so much for having me.
No worries.